Now, Ed, good morning to you. So we're more than halfway through the profit reporting season. One of the big trends we've seen is costs rising faster than inflation.
That's been a big trend, Pete. Lots of companies obviously are experiencing rising costs, and we know inflation has been high over the last 12 months. In the reporting season period, if it was a 12-month report, inflation would be 6%. We're seeing costs rising a lot more than that. So what do these companies do? Well, they simply raise their own prices and throw that back to customers. So we're still seeing inflationary pressures across the economy. It's been one of the big trends this season. Look, you just were talking about Woodside a second ago. They had a pretty good result yesterday thanks to higher prices for both LNG and LNG gas mainly, but also for oil. Oil prices have been rising for the last 3 or 4 months or so. But then on the other side of the coin, you had BHP yesterday, the biggest company on the Australian stock market, worth about 12% of the whole ASX 200, and commodity prices really slipped off for iron ore. The price they received for iron ore was down 18%. Coal prices were down as well. Nickel prices were the only thing that really went up for BHP. So big companies like that, they're at the mercy of the market when it comes to the prices they get for their commodities. So BHP's result, it was still well received by the market yesterday, and it was a big profit, but it was nowhere near as big as the last couple of years where we've seen iron ore prices above $200 per tonne.
Yeah, amazing. Now, the spotlight's going to be on Qantas tomorrow, Ed. They're expected to post a record profit thanks to those sky-high airfares.
Airfares have been very expensive basically since the end of the pandemic. We know there's a lack of capacity on flights across coming in and out of Australia, and we've seen Qatar Airways trying to set up a few more routes to come into Australia because they can see there's clearly a massive demand still from Australian customers wanting to travel all over the world. So Qantas, they're expected to post a record full-year profit of roughly $2.5 billion. They gave us a little update about a month and a half ago in the lead up to results season saying it was going to be a good one, and expect to see a massive profit here for Qantas. They're just clearly the dominant player in the market. They're making a lot of money right now with their airfares being so high, and it should be a really good result. So they have been doing share buybacks over the last couple of years. Expect to see Qantas continue with the share buybacks tomorrow. So the share price is probably going to go up again tomorrow off the back of it.
Okay, and Ed, big banking conference starting tomorrow as well in the United States. The Fed Reserve Chair Jerome Powell is the keynote speaker.
Yeah, this is the annual, it's called the Jackson Hole Conference, held in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. It's a ski resort town in the middle of summer. All global bankers all sort of flock to this tiny place in America, in the Midwest, or in the far west. And he's going to be speaking on Saturday, Australia time, but this is a significant speech because he's going to set the scene for where he's seeing the state of the US economy, because just a month, 2 months ago, there was really big concerns the US would fall into a pretty bad recession. Now it looks like the US has got better chances of coming out of it with just on a narrow path, kind of like Australia's economy. So the cash rate in the US, it's 5.5%, a lot higher than Australia, but expect to hear hopefully some positive commentary here from Jerome Powell on the weekend. It does have the ability to affect financial markets quite sharply on Monday morning when we open.